This legal series, Legal Vision, I would like to talk about in Japan and the anti-earthquake building law. That is very important that we have to learn. That act is called Building Standard Act in Japan. Since 1981, new seismic standard that's also in structural works were introduced. So in Japan, to sustain the buildings, to sustain the impact of the earthquake, we can separate old buildings and pre 1981 buildings and after 1981 buildings, which are very important because Japan, this area is earth prone area, earthquake prone area. Maximum they are getting affected in yearly, they are losing many buildings and everything. That's why they introduced and they enacted the Building Standard Act 1981. The act and rules subsequent more regulation issued on the base of the act, on the base of the rules, and these are very effective, covering anti-earthquake buildings. The structures should be strong. The structures should include in the anti-earthquake the south zone, really the measures and everything, the standard. As such a standard, the south zone are being maintained currently, and whereby not completely in the earthquake at the south zone, the impacts can be maintained, but it can the south zone reduce the impact. The impacts of the earthquakes are reduced as far as the building affection is concerned. That is necessary. In India also, we will have to introduce a construction related and structure related enactments, which will be very helpful. As far as in the Japan is concerned, as in the Japan is earthquake prone area, a nation, and it introduced, and whereby the seismic standard is being maintained. And before 1981, the old buildings, which will have also the half of the others also new measures, the seismic standard. Having studied the effects and impacts and also the collapse of the building and the loss of the lives, everything, the Building Standard Act was introduced, coinciding. So Article 20 of these Building Standard Acts of Japan is a very significant, and it covers in really all the anti-earthquake measures in the building in the form of these structures. The structure, new seismic standard, that is the biggest one. When we get affected, automatically we will introduce more things here. But in India, and we can expect and introduce a more new, there's also provision in the act existing, and also whereby a new India can be created as far as on the building level is